Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson off by giving all the honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect that are out there diligently pushing His word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, so there's been a lot of talk through the spirit of civil war. Okay, the spirit has been, highlighting this place, going toe to toe within itself. All right, the brothers is going into it. There's a lot of videos that are surfacing in terms of this upcoming election with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. All right. Through the spirit, man, this puts me in the mind of that movie, The Purge, the election year. I got it pulled up right here. Purge election year. All right. And through the spirit, I think I'm gonna try to go back and watch it again. All right. But this highlights, a time of the election. Okay, and it was complete chaos, man. And they Esau would like to do is put their plans, okay, and put it in the form of a movie. All right, to try to get you to wrap your mind around the fact that it's fiction. Okay, but it's really them blatantly telling you what they plan on doing. Okay, now not to say that this is going to happen, but we do know something of this, of this kind, all right, will eventually happen, going into, Jacob's trouble. Okay. But, going back to this article, it says, will Democrats accept the results of the 2024 presidential election? Okay. Now, with the whole debacle between, the Biden administration and the Trump administration, Trump having all these cases that are, put upon him, he is not the American favorite. Okay. All right. Because you got even Jake, okay, being one of the main faces for, supporting the Democrats, supporting Biden, supporting Kamala Harris. Okay. So for one, they already, bugged out to think that by being a certain of either or, you're something, it's crazy, man. We're not supposed to be neither Republican nor Democrat. Now, obviously, there are some values and some beliefs that we, take heed to. Okay, but hey, man, we're of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, you don't even need to be partaking in none of these. And you got Jake being the main face for the Democrats, and then they don't want Trump to get in office. Okay, a lot of Israelites, so-called Hispanics, Native Americans, and so-called Negroes. Okay, because of when he was in office, he said a lot. Okay, he made a lot of racist remarks, things of that nature. But if you really look high in sight, the economy was at his best for a while. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, and say he gets elected for whatever reason, right? And then, or selected rather. Okay, and then the last case that he has on him, they ended up throwing him into prison. What you think that's going to do for the right wings? What you think that's going to do to, the Proud Boys? All right, they're going to get riled up. Okay, and vice versa. They're not going to have a Democrat, a so-called black woman, and through the spirit, man, she may not even be a so-called Negro, man, or because her dad appears to be Benjamin, or I think he's Benjamin. All right, but I don't know, man. You just don't know. But based off of her behaviors and a lot of the shit that she says, it's throwing me off. But anyways, they don't want her to be in office. Okay, so whichever way you look at it, man, all this is going to lead to is the right against the left, man. Okay. Also with that movie Civil War. Okay. Hey, man, this is coming. All right, very soon, and who knows? This could be what enforces martial law. Okay, because all they need chaos in order to establish some kind of order. All right, and the best way to do that is to establish their new world order in the midst of chaos. Okay, then you stir it up, you stir the pot, and then you come up with a solution. Okay, and then next thing you know, everybody's coming back to you, and then them getting their so-called control back, when really they're being operated and orchestrated by the Lord. All right, but that's exactly what they try to do, man. So without further ado, let me get into this article. Right, it says picture the scenario on November 6th, the American presidential election has taken place and Donald Trump is the winner, well over 300 electoral college votes, legitimately and decisively beating Kamala Harris. Democrats are in an uproar, making wild claims of election interference from foreign entities like Russia, just like in 2016, and threatening to block certification of the election unless their candidate of choice is installed. Okay, now you got to also keep in mind all the, they're not just coming up with that, just for whatever. You got to consider how many immigrants, okay, are coming across the border. All right, so they're saying that there could have been some level of interference, okay, with these results. All right, and really, when you really think about it, man, no matter what these so-called votes are, they don't do anything. Okay, they don't do anything. They just make you think that you have a say. They give you a platform almost, that if you go and vote, you have a say in who's going to become your next president, commander in chief, your next president. You see, but really, so they really just got these people in a freaking they playing games with people, man. It's a big old game to these devils. All right, these people that are at the top, these elites. Okay, because these elections aren't even based off of quote unquote being election or elected, okay, by a group of people. No, they've been selected. Okay, they have been selected more than likely from birth. All right, you got to keep that in mind, man. And Jake obviously is not at that level to go there, but anyways, it says, by attempting to nullify the votes over half of the country, Democrats have chosen to wage war against Americans who don't agree with them. What does that sound like? It sounds exactly like the Civil War movie, if you watched it. It says it's their last-ditch effort to cling to power, and they don't care what damage is done to the country in the process. The damage done, in fact, is part of the plan. Okay? It's all a part of the plan. And really, it's all by the plan of the Lord, by way of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because think about it, all these immigrants and these people that are coming across these borders, all right, the majority, through the Spirit of me speaking, the majority is they come into Babylon to receive their judgment, okay, for all the wickedness that they've done in there with whatever country, okay, they come from, or continent, all right. They're coming specifically to Babylon to be part of that thermonuclear fire, okay? The lake of burning fire, you see, which is going to take place here in America, okay? And in Israel, all right? Because Israel's going to have to be destroyed for all their wickedness, okay? And all their blaspheme and all their lies and deception over the past, almost 100 years being in our land. Okay, so it says going down, let me just get down to this point. It says so-called fact checkers point out that this only applies to local and state elections, not federal elections. Don't fall for this misdirection. Okay, yeah, and honestly, you shouldn't even be believing anything that these politicians or these fact checkers or whatever because hey, these same companies, these so-called fact checker companies, all right, are the same ones as pretty much when you be going on anything online and anything that talks about the C-19, you know, the fact checker logo or the button will come up at the bottom of the video or whatever, you know, saying that, oh, this is inaccurate or whatever they have to say, you know. So you really shouldn't even be believing these fact checkers, okay? Anyways, it says, why have Democrats from Joe Biden on down pushed so hard to allow non-citizens to vote? Because you're getting these immigrants that are coming across, okay, and they're they're incentivizing these immigrants to you know, to vote, okay, you know, to stay here longer or to continue to receive their benefits, right? You know, so they're going to try to get these people in there to vote for them, for the Democrat Party, okay? But what does it say? It says, once voting by non-citizens in local and state elections is legitimized, America, as we have known it for more than 240 years, will no longer exist, okay? Because it's really just based off of the American votes. All right, the people, your tax paying, you know, your taxpayers, you know, the people that are here, you know, working, okay, middle class, upper class, right, the average, you know, middle class, you know what I'm saying? So now that you allowing these other people from these other countries who barely speak a lick of English, okay, who are more than likely on the T list, right? You give them the opportunity to vote. What sense does that make? Okay. Anyways, it says at all this will be followed by escalating the lawfare against Trump with possible prison sentencing between the election and inauguration in one or more of the criminal cases he faces. Okay, so for instance, say if this was to go down, right? He gets elected, okay, and then, you know, they get him on that last charge. You see, all that's going to do is entice war, okay? Entice, you know, fighting side, you know, one side against another, riots. You know, it's going to probably start with protests and then turn into riots. You know, America is known for doing stuff like that. With the whole George Floyd situation, you know. Anyways, so yeah, man. You know, this is what's coming to America. Okay, this is what's being talked about in those thinking tanks. Okay, in those meetings at the highest level. All right, this is what they're going. This is what they're trying to push. Okay, this is one of the next few things that we could anticipate leading up to, you know, martial law. Okay, Jacob's trouble. You see. So if this continues, and you think about it, man, November 6th, it's only a couple weeks, okay, at best. All right, it's a couple weeks away, leading up to January 20th, which is I think inauguration day. All right, so you're looking at a full 2 months where it's just probably going to be complete chaos. All right, so let me get a couple scriptures real quick. This is Mark chapter 3 and verse 26 in the NLT. Okay, and it says, where was I think it was on the 20. Here we go. All right, it says in the NLT, I'll start at verse 23. Yahushua called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan? He asked. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. All right. So if this kingdom, which, you know, we are greatly anticipating a civil war brewing up, okay, because, you know, I also want to make a point before I go further. What is it? Brighteon. Yeah. So I was here earlier, okay, and I went to trending, okay, and I watched the Alex Jones. This one, was it this one or the 20? This one, the 22nd. Okay, so the today's. All right, you watch this video right here, okay, and you know you can watch it all throughout. But what stood out the most was the last 10 minutes, okay, of this video. I'm not sure if I want to. You know what? You know, I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Okay, so bear with me.
I am living in the most important moment of my time. It's longer, 5-6 days ago. They said, we're not releasing him right now. Okay. See? You know, 14 weeks ago, when no order from the Justice Department to close your doors, I said, where's the, you got a warrant? You got a court order? No, we're just told we're going to get everybody out of here. We're closing in at 9 o'clock tonight. I said, well, you better call your owner your company. Justice players didn't authorize. A lot of them we supposed to convince.
Here we go.
Level of crooks, psycho Lex Luthers we're dealing with here. Patrick Batemans. So, let's play the Carville clip first, and I'll play the vice president saying the same thing and all of it. But listen to this crap. Oh, we need to have an armed rebellion because Trump's coming after the black men. Listen to this crap.
And, you know, the other question is, were you better off 4 years ago? Are you going to be better off in a penitentiary 4 years from now, or still having the right of free speech and the right of political dissent? Because that's literally what's on the ballot. And I suspect in 1941, I don't know if people thought they were better off than they were 4 years ago, or in 1861, what people thought. But I know this, when the Republic was threatened, people picked up arms and answered the call. Or you know, when 1965, in the middle of the Civil Rights Movement, I think people decided they want to take matters in their own hands and create a better country. And that's what I hope we do here in the next 2 weeks.
So, you know, they want to...
Do you hear that? He said, you know, when, you know, during the first Civil War, they pretty much, you know, took matters into their own hands. Okay. And he said, I feel like we should be doing that within the next couple weeks. Okay. Let me play that again.
The
picked up arms and answered the call. Or you know, when 1965, in the middle of the Civil Rights Movement, I think people decided they want to take matters in their own hands and create a better country. And that's what I hope we do here in the next 2 weeks.
So, you know, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job.
He's talking about the enemy within our country, Pennsylvania. He's talking about that he considers anyone who doesn't support him or who will not bend to his will an enemy of our country. It's a serious issue. He is saying that he would use the military to go after them. Think about this.
A fair election and that it will be peaceful.
Two separate questions.
Very much.
I'm confident it'll be free and fair. I don't know whether it'll be peaceful. The things that Trump has said and the things that he said last time out when he didn't like the outcome of the election were very dangerous. If you notice, I noticed that the vice presidential Republican candidate did not say he'd accept the outcome of the election. They haven't even accepted the outcome of the last election. So I'm concerned about what they're going to do.
Are you making any preparations?
So Trump's going to use the military. We need to have an uprising with guns against the Trump people because they're going to be violent. And then Homeland Security has put...
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because, you know, he can be a bit confrontational. He doesn't necessarily have a filter. All right. So I don't want this video to get clipped. I mean, though it might, okay, because it went into a lot of the politics and election talk and the recordings and stuff like that. But either way, you get where this is going, man. All right. This is what's brewing, okay, on the planet Earth. This is what's brewing here in America. Okay. Now, you think the George Floyd situation spread like wildfire, because you got to remember when it took place here, they was doing the same things over in Russia, Germany, all around the world, man. So if it comes down to, say, Trump getting elected or selected, and then he just comes down on so-called black people, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, okay? 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, around the 17th verse, it says that the judgment will begin at the house of the Most High, okay? So who knows, man? This could be, what takes place within the next few weeks, okay? So I just wanted to show that real quick. And mind you, this is on Brighteon. Okay, this was a video that was done 11 hours ago. The Alex Jones. You can go and watch it yourself. But let me get a couple more of these scriptures. Mark chapter 3 and verse. Where was I? Verse 24. It says, "A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He will never survive." Okay? So in other words, verse 24, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Okay? And this is going to be the civil war of all civil wars. You had the actual Civil War take place back in the 1800s. Okay, you had the Civil Rights Movement in the 50s, 60s. Okay, primarily the 60s. Okay, now this one that's going to take place is going to far exceed any of them. All right, it really is. That's why in Daniel the 12th chapter it goes into that. All right. Let's get it. Daniel chapter 12. And start at 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." You see that? And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Who is that going into? Jacob. It's going into the Israelites. Okay? And so if this actually goes on, okay, who they going to come down on? The Israelites. All right? Isaiah chapter 19, and this is going to be in the GNT 19:2. "The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, I will stir up civil war in Egypt and turn brother against brother and neighbor against neighbor. Rival cities will fight each other. Rival kings will struggle for power. I am going to frustrate the plans of the Egyptians and destroy their morale. They will ask their idols to help, and they will go and consult mediums and ask the spirits of the dead for advice. I will hand the Egyptian over to a tyrant, to a cruel king who will rule them. I, Yahweh Shemel Shai, Almighty, have spoken." You see? So it says, I will hand the Egyptians over to a tyrant, a cruel king who will rule over them. Okay? Now, whoever that is, we don't necessarily know. Could it be Trump? Who knows? It could be. It may not be. Right? It could be, these other people, such as, the Klaus Schwabs and things of that nature. Okay? Calling the shots. You don't know. All right? But we do know What, prophesy in part, we know in part, we prophesy in part. But we do know that civil war is coming. Okay? Americans fighting against other Americans. It's prophecy. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of their pride. The cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Now, what does that sound like? Okay. Cities shall be troubled. Sounds exactly like martial law. You have military troops roaming the streets in tanks, okay, with turret guns attached to the top of them, rolling down your block. Houses being destroyed. Men shall be afraid. Because it's going to be a lot of, if you outside, it's kill on sight. It's going to be bad out here. And unless you have your Habashim Yahushua on your side, man, you're done for. You're done. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? So it's going to get so bad that people are going to try to take matters, once again, into their own hands. Robbing, looting, stealing, all because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So, hey, that was pretty much the point. Okay, but hey, man, sounds exactly like the purge. I'm saying, it's just me speaking. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give our honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha HaKodash. And until next time, Shalom.